Another thing that we talked about is Nipsey getting compared to Pac. Like, you think that's a fair comparison? Like, what's your thoughts on that?
I don't. My thing is that I'll make mine real short. I don't. The only reason I don't think the comparison is good is because they're each their own person. You know what I mean? Like instead of saying he's like Tupac, like he's his own person that did his own great things. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think that he should be compared to him because he is his own man. You get what I'm saying? Like. I think it's almost to try to compare him is more of an insult than anything. Like I think the only thing that was similar is they were both rappers that got killed.
He was more of a what you said?
I said I think it's more of an insult to try to compare him and say, oh, he's like Tupac instead of just saying he is Nipsey. He's someone who did great things with his life. You know what I mean? But I'm saying I think the only comparison really is that they were both rappers
and got shot.
Killed.
Yeah. I mean, because the comparisons didn't start till Nipsey got killed late that day. Like we never heard Nipsey being compared to Pac beforehand, you know?
Right. So to compare him to Tupac only because of the way he died is
it's not fair.
Like an insult.
Yeah, it's not fair.
I know, Coop. I sent you some tweets of what DJ Vlad said, like something like I can't. Let me see. Let me pull them up. But do you remember it?
Well, he was pretty much saying, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And to be fair, Nipsey probably did more for the community than Tupac did. You know, like kind of that's what Vlad said. Like during his lifetime, that is, like while he was living.
What? I mean, you can say that, but a lot of the stuff Pac did is not documented. Like it was no social media back then, and a lot of times he didn't speak on the stuff that he did. Like he named his publishing company after a dying kid. Right. He took a girl to prom. He took Frank Alexander's niece. Somewhere, gave her some money, donated
his time.
Like he donated band equipment to her school. It's a lot of stuff that he did that's not talked about.
Right. Yeah, I mean he did a lot of things. I guess all I was talking about is on the level of like community where Nipsey was creating schools and shit. You know what I mean? Like that to help the people that live directly in that area. But yeah, I mean, Tupac obviously did great stuff too, like all the stuff you said, and I mean, he did more. He did even more than that. He would go to elementary schools and talk to the parents and the kids, and he had plans to do all those things. Like he wanted to start that. I think he wanted to start a Pop Warner Football League, and start things where he was going to go around and do concerts at schools, but you had to get at least like a B average to attend the concert. Shit like that.
I mean, to be fair, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, AG.
No, go ahead.
No, okay. He was. I read this somewhere. He was trying to put like a benefit concert to like raise money for like at-risk youth, like in South Central LA. This was like in 1993. It was going to be called A Place Called Home. But my thing is, if you don't research this stuff or read about it, you won't know. You know what I'm saying? Social media won't tell you this. But if you look on Instagram or Twitter, everybody's accomplishments are right there. Nipsey's shit was on YouTube, all his philanthropy stuff, but Tupac's is not documented because there's no social media back then. YouTube wasn't around. You're not gonna really find it unless you read about it.
Right.
So,
and to be fair, I mean, Pac died at 25. Imagine if he died at 35. Imagine the shit that he could have accomplished.
Right. That's kind of what, when Vlad said that stuff, kind of made me mad, is because he was saying that, and I mean, it's kind of what I said too, that Nipsey did more during his life, but Tupac had a lot of goals. Like he had plans written out and things he wanted to do that he was about to do, like big things that were going to help people. He just got killed. He was only in the rap game for what, like 4 years, 5 years max, and he didn't have a whole lot of time. So for the amount of time he had, everything he did, that's why he's still like the biggest name in hip hop 20 years later.
Yeah, it was
tough.
Nipsey is dope, man. I never take anything away from him.
I love Nipsey, bro. He's raw, bro. But go ahead.
Man, super dope, man. I have nothing negative to say, but the comparisons don't make sense because, okay, you got one person who was 4 years in the game. You have another person who was 15 years in the game. You have another person who was 25. You have another person who was 33. You know what I'm saying? The time, like the ages, it doesn't correlate. You can't. it's like comparing like James Harden career to Michael Jordan's career. You can't compare it right now because one person played a lot longer and had ample more time to do it.
Right.
So that's what I think about that. It's just not fair.
And to be completely honest, like when it comes to music, I've listened to a little bit of Nipsey's music, and I've known about him for like the last 10 years, but I was never really a huge fan of his music just because I didn't listen to a lot of it. But there was a video he did, and this video, I mean, I probably saw it maybe 10 years ago, 8 years ago. It was a long time ago. He was young, and he was standing outside next to a car, and he was being interviewed. And I forgot what he was talking about, but it was something with the government and money and saving his money and all this stuff. But ever since watching that video, because at first when I saw him, I thought he was kind of like, he was trying to be like Snoop because he looked the same a little bit and like his laid back personality. But after I watched that video, like this is probably, I don't know, 8 years ago, I watched this video of him doing this interview, and you could hear like how smart he is. I mean, he was just naturally intelligent. It made me a fan of him, not even so much his music, just him, because I could tell that he was smart and he knew what the fuck he was talking about.
Yeah, like dude was real sharp, man. He was real astute, man. I never say nothing bad about him, man. He was dope, man. Nothing negative at all.
No. That's what we're trying. Like the only thing we're saying is, all that being said, doesn't mean that the government killed him.
Yeah, I see a lot of people saying compare Nipsey to Martin Luther King, to Jesus. Like, what do you think about that?
Okay, Martin Luther King. Are we being serious right now? Martin Luther King, man, really?
Who said that? I think it was Joe Budden and Jermaine Dupri.
Jermaine Dupri said Jesus. I'm not even gonna touch on that because it's fucking stupid.
Damn. Pay attention, yo. Johnny Coop going in. Go ahead.
No, I ain't gonna look. I'm not gonna touch on that. Jesus, it's pointless. It's pointless to talk about it because I mean, was he Jesus when he was alive? Come on, man. He was doing great things. But my thing is, a lot of people are doing the same stuff, but we just don't know about them because they are not celebrities. I can go down a list and tell you 1,000 of black activists that's doing the same thing. But if they got killed, you wouldn't say it was over a conspiracy because they're not famous.
Right.
Yeah. So.
And like he said, like we're not taking anything away from Nipsey. Like we were fans of him. He was doing a lot of great shit, and like
he was.
It's sad that he was killed. You know what I mean? Like he was killed over bullshit, and someone who was talented and was probably going to do so many good things and positive things with their life was killed over bullshit. But like, and it's not that he wasn't maybe ever be on the level of Martin Luther King. I mean, we'll never know at this point, but what I'm getting at is like, let's address it for what it is. You know, it's sad that he was killed over bullshit, but that's what it was he was killed over bullshit.
Yeah, well, Martin, he led like he was with the Freedom Riders. He led like Bloody Sunday through Selma, through Montgomery. He was actually in the streets picketing and going through hoses and white supremacists, KKK members.
Right.
I mean, that's not, they don't do that now, but it was
being beaten.
Yeah, it was bad back then. I mean, he led like speeches in places he wasn't supposed to be. Like even Thurgood Marshall, he was like the first black man on the Supreme Court, like attorney.
Yeah.
He used to go in like racist towns and try to get these black guys off or these white juries. He put himself at danger. He almost got lynched for it. Like he was doing stuff like that. Nipsey was doing amazing things, but he wasn't in the trenches fighting white supremacy or whatever like they were. So, you know what I'm saying? It's not a good comparison. It's kind of ridiculous, if you want to be real about it.
Right. I mean, it's almost the exact same, like when you said about LeBron or Snoop. It's almost the exact same. He's famous. They're talking negatively about Donald Trump, but they're also doing things for the black community in their hometown. Snoop has, the little league football shit to keep kids out of the street. LeBron has started schools. You know what I'm saying? Like they've all done these things, and that's not taking anything away from Nipsey. Like he was still doing those things too. So like they each are doing their own great things, but what would make him the target over these other people? Because to be honest, like, I don't know if you agree or not, but I almost think LeBron James has more influence than Nipsey did, just because LeBron James he's a household name. I mean, Nipsey is now too, but LeBron James for the last decade, you can go into almost any house in America and they know who he is.